Oh, hey, family, friends, loved ones, strangers. How you all doing? Welcome to another edition of Wheel of Albums. It's the podcast where we listen to an album spun on the wheel of 1001 albums you must hear before you die, from Robert Dimery. And then me, my brother Adam, and our friend Jack. We get together and we listen to this album for the week, and we get back together and let you know if we think this album is something worth hearing before you die. Shout out to Sydney, who is back behind the camera this week, filming the beginning of this intro for Harry Nilsson and his 1971 album, Nilsson Schmilson. We all put on robes for this one.
Well, for the 20th album of Season 3 on Wheel of Albums, we get a little album from 1971 called Nilsson Schmilson. When I think of Harry Nilsson, I think of Everybody's Talking. And most people think of that from Midnight Cowboy. Everybody's Talking's not on this album. Got to listen to Nilsson Schmilson along the lines somewhere, and kind of great it sounded. But I just don't know if that was me in the moment thinking it was great. So Justin and Jack, let's jump back into the fire.
I was looking forward to this. I like Harry Nilsson's songs. A Monkey song. He had a TV show theme song that I really enjoyed. The Courtship of Eddie's Father, the Best Friend song. And then I always remember that everybody saying Nilsson Schmilson is the epitome of Harry Nilsson. But I can't say that I've ever actually listened to this album. Nilsson Schmilson, gotta get up.
You know, I don't know how to take this album. It won a bunch of Grammys. It was huge in 1971. Back half of this album has many hits, 3 top 10 hits, plus a standard that everybody knows. Let the good times roll. But are the good times rolling through this whole thing? That's what we're going to go and find out, and we're going to discuss here on Wheel of Albums.
Well, Harry Nilsson, I was driving along at 57,000 miles an hour. Look at those people standing on the petals of a flower. Look at those petals bumping for a little bit of power. This is my initial thought on Nilsson Schmilson this time around. At the crossroads, or the intersection, if you will, of Bill Withers and Paul McCartney, there is a man named Harry Nilsson.
Wait, I thought that was Dobie Gray.
He fits perfectly into that genre of artist. Am I saying he's as good as Paul McCartney? No. Is he as cheesy as Paul McCartney's solo stuff, where, you know, Paul was the cheesy Beatle in a way? He fits perfectly into that. I think it's eclectic. I think you go from the Coconut song. He's doing a cover of Without You by Badfinger. He's doing Jump Into the Fire, which I think is the first drum solo that we've had on any of Wheel of Albums so far. And is it worthy of all the Grammys? Well, we'll leave that for the Before You Die section.
Ooh, a deep tease. Yeah, that's one of the things about this album I noticed too, Adam, listening to it for the first time myself, is that it's all over the place. Nothing fits together at all.
So I think to understand Harry Nilsson more, you got to get to know his background. Jack, why don't you go ahead and fill us in a little bit?
Harry Nilsson had a long-spanning career. He was an early songwriter, then started getting more performance-oriented, not live performance, studio. Brian Wilson-ish almost, is that he somewhat reclusive or reticent to appear in live settings, highly interested in the workings of a studio based upon his enjoyment with the Beatles and the Beach Boys. He really shines on this. This is not, it doesn't feel rushed. This is Harry Nilsson's mind, possibly. And as the studios and technology progressed, he took full advantage of it.
I think you touched on a good point there, Jack, is that the reason Harry Nilsson wasn't as big as a lot of other singer-songwriters after this album, besides the fact it won all those Grammys, is that he never went out live and did any of this stuff. He was a studio dude. So when it comes to his identity, even after listening to this album, I listened to the side A 4 times this week and side B 3 times because I knew this one was a little bit more. I'm still not sure who Harry Nilsson is.
I got range, baby. If you want to hire Harry Nilsson, this is the tape to listen to.
What I like about this album, right off the bat, Gotta Get Up starts this thing off like gangbusters. It's one of my favorite songs on here. And it's really not about going out and seizing the day, as you might think. After about the 4th time, you notice that it's more about the grievances you had from the night before that you need to get up and still get on with your life. I wish the song was just a little bit longer.
So for the front half of Nilsson Schmilson, I'm going to say it's the lesser of the two halves, I think. And while Driving Along is just pure cheese in a way and kind of laughable, same thing with the Moonbeam song, the song that really is great on the first album's Gotta Get Up. Really, out of all the times I've listened to it, it's the one that I hadn't heard before that I was like, yes, this is a great tune. And it really piqued my interest and is a great opener for an album.
The Gotta Get Up, I just kind of remember it being in the background of shows or movies or maybe even ads.
All right, so we touched on Gotta Get Up. That I think is a great start to this album. What do you guys think about the other songs on Nilsson Schmilsson?
I realize I'm familiar with several of the songs on here. I didn't really associate with Harry Nilsson that early in the morning, but I think I'd heard it before. And Let the Good Times Roll. Jump in the Fire, I remember not knowing that was Harry Nilsson. Goodfellas came out, and they used that. I think it's when he's Ray Liotta's All Paranoid.
I personally can't disassociate that song without thinking of Ray Liotta trying to get rid of cocaine, staring at helicopters, and telling Jimmy to stir the sauce.
I guess the song I think of the most from this album is Coconut.
Coconut, heard it for years.
The quintessential beach song, I guess, in a way. Put the lime in the coconut. I was trying to think, what movie or where do I know this song from, right? It's just kind of ingrained into culture, I guess, in a way.
For me, I was terrified the first time I heard Coconut. It was on a Muppet Show episode where Kermit the Frog had a broken flipper and was in a bed and everything was changing around him as far as the scenes go. I was probably 5 years old, and that song, I do not have good memories with that song just because of the Muppet Show and their rendition of Coconut. Go watch it on YouTube. You'll see what I mean.
I was looking back. It looks like it was on the Muppet Show in 1979.
Right, there it is. Hosted by Kenny Rogers. Kenny should have walked out of the studio when he saw that skit. I'm not associating myself with this.
I was a big Bones fan, the TV show with David Boreanaz. It looks like they played the Coconut song in 5 different episodes. Oh, this is the guy that did Coconut. So there's that.
Without You, that song was always on the radio, on 70s AM gold radio.
I like the idea that Harry walked in to see Badfinger and say, hey, this song you got right here, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it better than you guys. And lo and behold, Harry did.
How different can I be? But I'm the same guy.
The flow of this album is like the album cover, a hot mess. It's all over the place. There's so many different genres. There's so much going on with this that one song's great and the next is kind of like, this is kind of just a cheesy tune. This album reminds me a little bit of Paul McCartney's Ram. At first glance, the songs feel like really cheesy. There might be an underlying brilliance to the songs if you investigate a little under the surface. I haven't investigated Nilsson Schmilsson enough to do that.
This guy in the studio, it just seems like Harry had a lot of friends that were superb musicians.
Yeah, it's like a who's who of 70s studio musicians that show up in here. You got Jim Gordon, Klaus Foreman, Herbie Flowers on bass guitar, Bobby Keys plays saxophone on down, and you got the Dream Weaver himself, Gary Wright, stops by and plays a couple of songs here.
Just a lot of creativity around him. They would do a song and they go, well, let's do it in this style. It's Beatle-esque in a sense. It's Beach Boy-esque in a sense. It's really something to hear that it's been put together. It just seems like everybody's a contributor and he's willing to say, yeah, let's try it.
Where I have troubles with Nilsson Schmilsson is, are the songs any good? When you start off with Gotta Get Up and that song is so good, the next several songs up until Without You, I don't like any of them.
There shouldn't be a common theme running through it. And I don't believe our protagonist is the same in each song.
So kind of Harry in a bathrobe kind of sums up it perfectly, right? So he looks like he's got it together, but man, does it look like he had a rough night the night before.
Hey, give me Cuddly Toy any day. Let the Good Times Roll and Early in the Morning. These versions here, not so good.
He's trying to figure out how to make coffee in the morning.
Do you like Poppy Nilsson? Do you like Wailing Nilsson? Do you like Funny Nilsson? Do you like Rocker Nilsson? And you go, you know what? Can I just have a sampler platter and make up my mind for my entree later, sir? And the maitre d' comes over and goes, excellent choice, sir. You should try all of the Nilsson. We call it the Schmilsson. And that's what this record is.
That's probably why I'm not a fan of buffets. Nilsson Schmilsson ratings. Adam gave it the highest of a 6.7 rating. Jack is 6.1. I gave it a 5.4 for an overall rating of 6.066. Our 3 favorite songs: Without You, Gotta Get Up, and Jump Into the Fire. Our least favorite songs, well, those went to Early in the Morning and the last song on there, I'll Never Leave You.
Where does Harry Nilsson fit in? He's a good time guy. did watch a Nilsson documentary about 15, 20 years ago. Adam, I looked it up. It's called Who's Harry Nilsson and Why is Everybody Talking About Him?
I did not know that.
Must you robe up and listen to Nilsson Schmilson before you die? I really enjoyed this album. Even the downers were just, I chalk it up to he's experimenting with a style. The fact that he didn't stay in the depths and raised it back up to another high in the very next song or 1 minute later into that same song is what I enjoy. And it makes me say, yes, this is an album you must hear before you die.
Oh, I struggled with this album. I disliked more than I liked on this album. Like I said, besides Gotta Get Up, the next few songs, I didn't like at all. Early in the Morning, it's just a bad rendition. Down sounded like a Beatles throwaway. The Moonbeam song. And the songs I do know more, I find it ironic that Jack has a soundbite that praises the reasons that I can't totally 100% get behind this album.
It has this Velcro or magnetic quality to it. So if they use a Harry Nilsson song in a TV show or a movie, you kind of, it just clicks right in. It fits right in and it stays with, and it becomes somewhat inseparable in the future.
Yes, and because of that, I associate those songs more with other projects than being part of this Nilsson Schmilson that's going on. I can't enjoy Jump in the Fire without thinking about Ray Liotta. This is a no. No for me. You can get by without listening to Nilsson Schmilson. This is not saying he's a bad songwriter, arranger, or a mastermind. This is just not an enjoyable album for me. I didn't enjoy it. It was too much, and it never caught my attention the way I was hoping it would. Adam?
I feel like there are 5 tracks you really need to hear from this album and 5 that you really don't. Some fun moments. It's got some iconic moments. And let's face it, you may not ever get to listen to another Harry Nilsson album. And it's far better than some of the other stuff Dimery has thrown at us in the 1001 albums. Looking at you, Venom and David Gray. It's a yes for me. If nothing more than for the quadruple threat of Without You, Coconut, Let the Good Times Roll, and Jump into the Fire. Put the positive Gotta Get Up as a start your day song and thank me later.
Hey, Adam, thanks for reminding me. I spent a whole week listening to Venom and David Gray. A week apiece. All right, Jack, let's find something better than Venom or David Gray for this next spin, buddy.
We're out of the bathrobes and we're back to the wheel. Let's give her a spin. There we go, and it is stopping. Oh, hello. Guess what? Next week, we're going to listen, we're going to learn. Jagged Little Pill, 1995, Alanis Morissette on the next Wheel of Album.
As we wind down Season 3, make sure you subscribe if you're watching or listening on YouTube, and give us a follow on Spotify.
Oh, hey, family, friends, strangers, loved ones. Welcome to another edition of Wheel of Albums. It's the podcast where we listen to an album spun on a wheel, the 1001 albums you must hear before you die, from Robert Dimery. Then, me and my brother Jack, not my brother Jack, I have to start that over because that's not my brother.
I did not know that.
Follow him in his shame.
No!